Because yeah, I didn't have to go to the office just yet. We could send stuff over email. I could send them my files and my requirements.
So where are those 500,000 jobs? Farms and forests hired more, education and mining too. But there were
centavos to 9 pesos and 55 centavos per kilowatt hour for the current month. This means a reduction of around 42 pesos in the total bill of a residential household consuming 200 kilowatt hours may be expected, and a little over 100 pesos for a household consuming 500 kilowatt hours. Meralco attributes the decline to lower generation and distribution charges for the period. Motorists will also see a hefty pump price cut tomorrow. Select companies on your screens lowering kerosene prices by 2 pesos and 55 centavos per liter, 2 pesos and 20 centavos a liter for diesel. Expect to pay less as well for gasoline with a 2 peso and 10 centavo rollback. Today is the last day of former President Fidel V. Ramos's wake. More visitors poured in before his state funeral tomorrow. Chrissy Di Matulak joins us live from Village Park in Taguig. Chrissy?
Yes, Pia, former colleagues and supporters pay their last respects to former President Fidel V. Ramos a day before he is laid to rest in the libingan ng mga bayani. A hero indeed. Retired Police General and former Ambassador Fidel said of FPR, who once served as the chief of the Philippine Constabulary and the precursor of the Philippine National Police. Quirol said instilled in him the value of putting the country first before anything else.
One advice he told me and the rest of the officers with me then was in this political contest, if ever the constabulary would take side, the constabulary should take side with the law. That landed in my mind for the longest time and has carried me through.
Meantime, former National Economic Development Authority Undersecretary Rolando Tongpalan, who served as Economic Director during the time of Ramos, said FPR bravely faced the challenges during his time and presented solutions being used as basis to this day. This includes reorganizing the state power company and authorizing the creation of new power plants.
He wants to make sure that it is well studied, but not studied to death. And he was also somebody who valued people working dedicatedly in government service. That's why we were high in terms of morale.
Vice President Sara Duterte also extended her condolences. She was not able to grant us an interview due to schedule conflict. FPR will have a state funeral tomorrow, Tuesday. From the Heritage Park, there will be a convoy to the libingan ng mga bayani. Soldiers will be lining up along Bayani Road to honor their former commander-in-chief. Then once FPR's remains enters the libingan, there will be a parade going to his gravesite. He will be buried at Section A of the cemetery where presidents are laid to rest. The gravesite of Ramos is beside former President Elpidio Quirino's. Back to you, Pia.
Chrissy, where are the designated areas for media and the public?
Yes, Pia, according to the AFP, there are two designated sites or areas for both the media and the public in the libingan ng mga bayani. The first is at the Heroes Memorials Gate, which is located at the entrance of the cemetery, while the other is near the gravesite. Upon entrance, both the members of the public and the media will be asked to show a hard copy of their negative RT-PCR test. Back to you, Pia.
Chrissy Di Matulak there reporting from the Heritage Park in Taguig. I'm sure you all remember former President Noynoy Aquino's funeral in June last year. Tomorrow, when the nation buries another former president, Fidel Valdez Ramos, we're going to see the exact same thing. But there will be some adjustments to suit the family's requests or because of the nearness of FDR's wake in Heritage Park in Taguig to where he will be buried, the libingan ng mga bayani, which is literally a stone's thrown away. We tell you what to expect tomorrow in part 1 of my report. On the morning of August 9th, there will be a family-only prayer service at Heritage Park before they move out at 10 a.m. We are going to see a casket containing the former president's urn that will be carried on the shoulders of 6 pallbearers. Placing the urn inside a casket was a request made by the Ramos family so that the flag that had earlier been displayed beside his urn and folded in an equilateral manner could be spread over the casket. An interment flag is always properly displayed on a casket, so what you will see will be the white triangular portion with the sun and 3 stars covering the head of the casket, the blue portion to the right and the red portion to the left, with both colors evenly divided on each side of the casket. No wreath of flowers can be placed on top of the flag, but regulations allow a small cross of flowers over the flag as a symbol of God above country. At no time does the flag touch the ground. As FDR's casket leaves Heritage Park, a battalion-sized honor guard comprised of Army, Navy, and Air Force personnel will render departure honors for him. This will be followed by a procession from Heritage Park to the libingan ng mga bayani, which is just 1 kilometer away, some 3 or 4 minutes by car. The libingan was established in 1947, 2 years after the Second World War ended, to commemorate those who fought so valiantly. It was called the Republic Memorial Cemetery, envisioned as a national pantheon for presidents of the Philippines, national heroes, and patriots of the country. In 1954, the cemetery was rededicated and renamed Libingan ng mga Bayani. It has also since become the final resting place for national artists and scientists as well. There are only 4 former presidents buried at Libingan: Elpidio Quirino, Carlos P. Garcia, Diosdado Macapagal, and Ferdinand Edralin Marcos, father of the incumbent, whose final journey there was fraught with conflict. Ramos will only be the 5th president to be buried there. When the funeral procession reaches the Libingan archway, the large concrete tripod called the Hero